The DJI Mavic 3 Pro was launched in April 2023, another version of the Mavic 3 flagship line. I've been testing this drone now for the last few months and I'll give you my honest opinion, what it's been like, my experience over these last few months, and how I think this drone can be made even better. The Mavic lineup has always been the flagship, the top drone of the portable drones from DJI, and it's the same again here. We have yet another Mavic Series. Now the Mavic Series has always been a downside in terms of cost because you're going to have to pay for that quality, but the Mavic 3 Pro in particular has a few drawbacks I'm going to discuss with you. So what about the Mavic lineup? So we used to have the Mavic 3, the Mavic 3 Classic, and now the Mavic 3 Pro, and it gets even more confusing when you think about which ones should I go and get. Now DJI have made it slightly easier for you by the Mavic 3 has just disappeared off their website altogether, so you can no longer buy that on their store, leaving two versions, the Mavic 3 Classic and the Mavic 3 Pro. But it gets even more confusing. The Mavic 3 Classic comes in three different versions. With that version, you're not going to get any tele lenses, but the Mavic 3 Pro, the new version on there, comes in four different versions, so 7 in total different Mavic 3s that you can go and pick up on the DJI website. So overall, just picking a drone, it's not straightforward. Any tech product that comes out, you see it promoted all over the place and it looks fantastic. You want it, you dream about it, you think one day I will get that drone and it will finally make me good. You buy it and often, just like majority of tech products, they don't deliver that dream of expectation. Is the Mavic 3 Pro all hype? Now the main advantage to the Mavic 3 Pro and the only advantage over the classic version is these three tele lenses on the front of it. Now my experience, are these gimmicky? No. On here you've got the new 3x telelens, which is a 70mm equivalent, and this is fantastic. It's an f2.8, it's 48 megapixel, and out of all of these, this is probably my favourite one that I've been using the most over these last few months. I love it because the quality is exceptional, so you can actually zoom in here and get really good quality in both video and photos. But you know, I also like active track, so now I can get zoomed in shots, just like this car here, in crazy wind conditions and actually get decent shots. So now I've got the ability to take wide active track shots, but also using that 3x zoom, I can now zoom in and get these really cool shots. So when you zoom in, you're going to get more of an actual compression, so that background seems to be moving a lot faster. You get more of like a parallax shot using these zoom lenses. Now the main camera is the same micro four thirds Hasselblad sensor, the same one we got on the Mavic 3 Classic and the same one we got on the Mavic 3. And this is not a bad thing. We need to remember that this is a Hasselblad camera. I mean, that alone is just mind-blowing. Hasselblad is like the creme de la creme in medium format cameras. These cost thousands of pounds to actually buy a Hasselblad camera, and the fact we're getting one of these on a drone is just remarkable. And the colours are exceptional. It's just like a painting on a wall. They've had years to develop this and they've absolutely nailed it. So every time you take a picture or a video from that main 5.1K micro four thirds camera, you're just gonna be like, how is this possible? So the 7x is 166mm equivalent, so it's better than the actual Mavic 3s. It's also better because it's an f3.4, it's 12 megapixel and it can shoot up to 4K 60. So over the water I can really zoom in and it just still produces lots of nice details and colours. It just looks remarkable. And even this landscape shot now, I can zoom in at 166mm and you can see here the Vegas Strip from really far away. So having all three of these is a huge advantage to creators. It's like literally like a toolbox in your drone. So you've got a 1x Hasselblad camera, you've got a really good 3x lens, and then you can also switch up to 7x. So you can have three different shots in the same location by having three dedicated lenses on this drone. This is the only advantage this will bring you over the Mavic 3 Classic, but it is one huge advantage. I'd rather have it than not. However, you know, it was confusing to think which of the 55 versions of the Mavic 3 should I pick up? Well, the Mavic 3 Pro, it gets even more confusing. Before we do, I cannot stress the importance of using good quality music on your videos. I used Artless for the music and sound effects on all the drone shots at the start of this video. Having good quality music will massively enhance that production value, but I also use sound effects of wind and waves crashing to give you that sense of being there. I've been using Artless now for years and the platform makes it so easy to find good quality music, which gets added to daily. They also now have a max plan, which gives you stock footage of literally any category. So that wasn't me floating in the air. I searched for dreaming and then got loads of results to choose from. I downloaded that 4K clip and then I could instantly use it on my video. So as well as music and sound effects and stock footage, you also get titles, special effects, plugins and a video editor for one price. It's like the creator's dream website this. Prices start from just $9.99 and you also get an extra 2 months free added on with my link, which will be at the top of the description. I highly recommend you checking it out. You see, the three lenses on here, they don't match in terms of color profiles. So if you're going to be doing high level color grading or production, this is going to be a potential issue to you. One time zoom on here, this shoots in D-Log, D-Log-M, HLG and normal color profile. That 3 time zoom, my favorite lens on here, this shoots in normal color profile, D-Log-M and HLG. And the 7 time zoom, this just shoots in normal color profile. So why is this an issue? Let's just say you're shooting on the main Micro Four Thirds camera and we're using the HLG color profile. So everything looks really nice and sharp. Everything's popping. Brilliant HDR dynamic range on here. Now I'm going to use my favorite lens, that 3 time zoom. I'm using HLG again. Everything looks great. Okay, right now I want to get a shot zoomed really close. Let's switch over to that 166mm. I can only use normal color profile, so it doesn't match. So when you put that into your editor, you've got 2 HLG clips and you've got 1 clip which is normal color profile. Now yes, you can actually convert that, but it's never going to look the same. That's an issue. Same with D-Log. So loads of people use a flat color profile. So say you want to use D-Log or D-Log-M, the 7 times camera on here again doesn't support D-Log or D-Log-M. Even the 3 times camera, which gets even more confusing, doesn't support D-Log. So, do you see where I'm going here? It's not consistent. Therefore, if you want consistency, you have to shoot in normal color profile. So normal color profile is going to be like good enough for majority of people. Just picking this drone up, stick it into normal and you're going to see excellent video quality. You have to be able to share that straight away, done. However, this is a pro level drone. It's got pro on the side of it. We want to be able to do good color grading. We want 10-bit. Normal on the standard DJI Mavic 3 Pro is an 8-bit color. So you're not going to get 10-bit out of normal. To use that, you need to use D-Log or D-Log-M. So I would like to see as a minimum D-Log-M to be supported on the 1 times, the 3 times and the 7 times telelens. I'm sure that potentially could happen on a firmware update. Fingers crossed. Now the Mavic 3 Pro has eaten more cakes than its mates, the Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Classic. This is a bit fatter. This weighs 958 grams. The Mavic 3 Classic and Mavic 3 weighed 895 grams. So that is a significant difference if weight is going to be an issue, depending on which country you're in. You see, if you're in America, this is not going to be a big problem because weight isn't a big factor there. So you can go and pick up the Mavic 3 Pro and you will absolutely love it. I'll see you in the next video. But if you're in the UK or Europe, this is going to be a potential issue. Now, if you're in the UK, I would just get the A2 qualification. The CA still haven't got a clue what they're doing. They're still learning how to spell. So I would just not really get too frustrated on that. Get the A2 qualification that's going to allow you to fly this in more places, have less separation distance, and it can be done easily online in a couple of evenings. I would highly recommend you go and picking and getting that if you're in the UK. If you're in Europe, you see, you've got the A1 open category now for drones under 900 grams. So this is why conveniently the Mavic 3, Mavic 3 Classic was 895 grams. You can fly that with less restrictions because of that weight. This is heavier. This is at more cakes, remember. So this weighs 958 grams. It's over. So you can't fly this in that A1 category anymore. So how do we get around that? And I think batteries. You see, the Mini 3 Pro, if you remember, after release, we saw the Plus battery. It brought that drone over 250 grams, but it allowed more flight time. It's not available in the UK or Europe because of that reason. However, the Mavic 3 Pro, could we do the opposite? Could we bring out like an EU battery? Yes, the flight time might be less, but an actual lighter battery. So this drone could then be under 900 grams. 899 grams with an EU battery would be phenomenal. It would mean then more people around Europe could fly this again in that A1 open category with potentially an EU battery. The Mavic 3 Pro can only be bought either with the DJI RC Pro or DJI RC. You can't buy this as a drone only option like you can with the Mavic 3 Classic. Now if you've already got say a Mini 3 Pro, you might have this RC controller already. So do you need another one? No, you don't. You can just get one controller like this or the RC Pro and you can fly multiple drones with that one controller. I would think it'd be great to see a drone-only option of the Mavic 3 Pro. This would bring the price down and make it more attractive to any potential buyers. Now, thankfully, after flying this drone for the last few months, those are the only issues I have with this. And I think potentially majority of them could be solved either with firmware updates or just new updates in general. I don't know about the battery, that's just like a wish, but I think if that could be achieved and those three things could be added, this is pretty much then such a almost perfect drone. Going to get the power and performance. So if you just fly this in windy conditions, it just handles the wind just like nothing else. So these shots here, this was during a sandstorm in the desert, really windy conditions. We were crazy to even attempt this, especially on a new drone. And it just handled it with ease. You know, look at the footage, it's really nice and stable. So the power you're going to get from one of these Mavic drones compared to say a Mini is just a completely different level. The active track on here is really good. You know, I love using that, and now being able to use this 7x and 3x zoom in focus track is even better. So overall, I absolutely love this drone. If I was in America, this would be my only drone I would fly all the time. But I would still want the additions that I've just mentioned before. So if we can just get the firmware update on here to have consistent colors, that's a great start. I'll link it down below if you want to go and check this out. Thanks so much for watching. I've got a lot more content coming really soon, so just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. If you enjoyed any part of this video, just press the like button. You will have no idea how much it helps out with just the algorithm seeing this video, so please press that like button. Thanks so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.